What's good, y'all? I've got some super sick and much needed buffs and reworks from my boy Blastoise. If you are a new viewer here, do make sure you check out that Google Sheet in the description and look at all 600 plus move buffs and changes in this hack. They are very elaborate. It's not your average run-of-the-mill ROM hack. I've reworked a whole bunch of stuff, so I highly recommend you give that a look. For returning viewers, you guys probably already know somewhat what the Blastoise buffs used to be. However, I did rework Blastoise a good bit, especially base Blastoise. He's a lot different now than what he was on the Google Sheets previously and also in that older video. Mega Blastoise is essentially the same. However, I did give their special defense back just because it felt a bit needless to drop Mispedev. Base Blastoise, I had him as a mixed attacker initially because he's like this giant ass turtle. I still wish he could be, but not enough base stat total points for it. Same with the reason their speed is dropped, also because I don't see them being that fast. Anyways, and Mega Blastoise's speed is abysmal. However, not only does he have incredible Water Steel dual typing, which is very good defensively, it also has the ability Rapid Fire. So not only do you have regular priority moves in the form of Aqua Jet and Bubble Shot, you also have Rapid Fire, which gives priority to moves that hit 3 or more times. So in this hack, there are tons of those. You can click Rapid Fire and see them all for yourself. Mega Blastoise has incredible ones. You have Stab, Surging Strikes, and Triple Cannonade, both of which are 90% accurate. Otherwise, they have no drawbacks besides that, and I guess they have lower PP, but those will always crit. Those are overall 112 base power, 112.5 base power, which is why they're some of the last moves he learns. That's extremely powerful. Very, very strong with Rapid Fire. Earlier on in the game, you have Bubble Barrage. If you keep Bubble Barrage, when you evolve, you can get priority, or when you Mega Evolve, rather. So Bubble Barrage is definitely worth keeping. It's also a good move in general. It drops speed by 3, because each hit drops speed, and that's 60 base power overall. So that's a good move. It's also benefiting from the fact that it hits multiple times, so it bypasses Sturdy and Focus Sash and all these other things that the AI will use. So you can use that really well. Surging Strikes, Triple Cannonade are later on options. You have Tri Attack, which is 105 base power overall, hits 3 times, has good chance to hacks the opponent. Just a solid, nice little strong priority move, even if it is only normal type. And then the main options for Rapid Fire, which you will learn in the mid-40s, which is just in time for when you get the Mega Stone, is Spike Cannon, Rock Blast, and Icicle Spear, I believe. So those are the 3 options you have for Rapid Fire. For most of the game, you don't, and Bubble Barrage as well. You don't get Triple Cannonade and Surging Strikes until the late 50s, which is Pony Island. You'll be past. Gotta keep cooking this first one. You'll be past Air Foundation by that point. So still a great option though. Rapid Fire, very, very strong. Probably better than Mega Launcher for most cases. However, Mega Launcher still has the benefit of having something. Well, Water Pulse in general is really good with Mega Launcher. Water Pulse becomes 90 base power, and it also drops attack and special attack by 1, so that's a great utility move. Mega Blastoise and Base Blastoise also benefit from the fact that pretty much every Pokemon in this hack has reliable recovery as an option. So Blastoise's reliable healing move is Rehydrate, which is Water type recover, so that's really good, even for Base Blastoise. So speaking of Base Blastoise, it has 2 great abilities in Shell Armor and Bulletproof. Shell Armor is massively buffed in this hack because there are tons of new moves that will always crit. I already covered a couple of those in Surging Strikes and Triple Cannonade, but even the common First Impression, which will be on pretty much every major boss fight at least once, is great. To have a Shell Armor bulky Pokemon with great bulk, 84, 125, 105 pure Water type with Shell Armor is really, really good. You completely block all of these crit moves. There's dozens of them. So if you click it here, you can see all the 50% crit moves and all of the 100% guaranteed crit rate moves. All right, you completely block the damage like boost from those. So those are much weaker with Shell Armor. Great ability for Blastoise, very fitting. And then your other ability is Bulletproof, which is just as situational. Probably most fights will be running Shell Armor, but if you see that the opponent's team has a move that is affected by Bulletproof, you use that Infinite Usability Capsule and you swap the Bulletproof, okay? So Bulletproof, super great ability, makes you immune to buffed Zap Cannon, Electro Ball, Energy Ball, Seed Bomb, Bullet Seed, and then also common neutral moves like Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Aura Sphere, all these really common good moves. This is a big list of immunities, and they're all really good, even the ones that you resist. For example, Searing Shot, you do resist fire, but it's still nice to have that immunity to a move like that because, a strong Searing Shot is still going to chunk your Blastoise on the switch, and then, of course, you also don't have to worry about that burn chance, 25% burn chance, or anything like that. So, Bulletproof, beautiful ability. These attacks are very common. I'm pretty sure most boss fights will have these moves show up at least once later on in the game. Maybe not all of them, but majority of boss fights you'll have at least some use that have Bulletproof if you want it to be immune to those moves. Of course, you'll have other Pokemon, so you're not always going to want your Blastoise to switch in on those moves, but still a good option to have with that Infinite Use ability capsule. Very, very good defensive abilities for base Blastoise. Another benefit is that you have the option to Mega Evolve, so all Megas in this hack are balanced so that the pre-Mega form is also viable, meaning that base Blastoise has genuine use over Mega Blastoise. For example, Specs Snipe Shot is much stronger on base Blastoise than it is on Mega Blastoise. Snipe Shot is that's one of the last moves they learned. It's level 60. Not that late in the game. You'll still have it for a lot of the end game stuff. But Snipe Shot, very, very powerful. That is essentially basically water type extreme speed. Very, very cool. Limited distribution. Only other ones like Kingja and Clawitzer and stuff like that. Octillery, all those guys get it. Very, very cool for Blastoise with the 120 base special attack, and of course the 160 special attack on Mega Blastoise. Base Blastoise can also abuse Z Lock-On, which will give him +3 special attack, and he has great bulk, so he can easily take hits, and then use that +3 special attack Z Lock-On in conjunction with Snipe Shot and Rehydrate, and just kind of like, anything that doesn't resist water. Even things that resist water are going to get chunked by that, and you can just heal off the damage. So for certain boss fights, you can cheese at least a couple Pokemon, take them down with Snipe Shot plus Z Lock-On, or just Snipe Shot in general with Specs. You do have stuff like Parting Shot and Rehydrate and Priority Haze and Soak and Water Spoit and all these other great utility moves as well. Withdraw, which gives you +1 defense and special defense. Shell Armor works great in conjunction with Withdraw or Iron Defense, because a lot of the defensive boosting Pokemon in attack are balanced out by the fact that crit moves will bypass through your defensive boosts, but with Shell Armor you negate those, so that's a great use for Shell Armor as well. Even Bulk Up, for example, Bulk Up is really great. Swords Dance Mega Blastoise with Rapid Fire Surging Strikes and Triple Candidate is also very powerful. Shell Smash is bad on Mega Blastoise and usable on base Blastoise. 43 base speed at +2 with a good nature or good IVs will outspeed a lot of things, but I wouldn't run it personally. I don't think first of all, it's not as fun as Snipe Shot anyways, in my opinion. And also, we have so many other options, but if you really want it, you can go ahead and run it. It's not the greatest thing on them, but it's still usable. Mega Blastoise has other really good stab options. So with Mega Launcher, the move Torrential Pulse at 56 is boosted to 150 base power, and the only downside is that it has did I say 250? I meant 150, and it has a 1 in 2 chance to drop special defense, which is more difficult for you to deal with as the player when the AI uses it on you, because you're a slow Pokemon, so you're not gonna it's just not that consistent for the player to bank on. But if you're switching in on a Torrential Pulse and now you're getting Speed F drop, it's like, oh shit, my check to this move is now gonna die next turn, and now I have to figure something else out. So that can make it a really scary move. Mega Launcher, still a threatening ability. However, Rapid Fire, once you get Surging Strike Triple Candidate, is definitely better overall. I would say Mega Launcher is very situational after that. But I'm not going to remove Mega Launcher. Usually I try to give every single Pokemon 2 useful abilities to switch between, and I want the abilities to be equal. But in Mega Blastoise's case, Mega Launcher was their signature ability alongside Clawitzer, so I'm not going to remove it just because it's mid. Sadly, I can't add more moves to the Mega Launcher pool. Otherwise, I would love to add stuff like Flash Cannon and all those other moves, but I can't do that. Hydro Cannon, oh my god. Hydro Cannon would be crazy. Hydro Cannon is 150 base power, and it drops your special attack step by 2. That goes great in conjunction with Snipe Shot, because of the fact that Snipe Shot will always crit. It'll ignore the special attack drop from Hydro Cannon. Very, very cool combination right there. Tons of great coverage moves. You can see a whole list right here on the side with the TMs and tutors. Also stuff like Steamroller is nice early on. Rock Blast, Icicle Spear, good for Rapid Fire Mega Blastoise. And of course, Rapid Fire really encourages the use of your significantly lower 123 base attack as opposed to 160 special attack, which I gave it to them because they're supposed to be able to punch holes through steel and stuff, and he has these giant ass cannons. So I think he should be definitely a mixed attacker, and also I think his special attack should be super high. He's very bulky. Like I said, Water Steel is a great dual type for defensive purposes, and it's also not bad dual stab. Base Blastoise could and totally should be Water Steel. However, I like the fact that you can pick your typing depending on if you're using base form or mega form. So for certain boss fights, you don't want that steel typing. It might hinder your strategy. Maybe it makes you weak to a fighting or ground move or something. So having the option to be pure water is really cool. I like that for Blastoise. It gives him a lot more versatility, especially for team locked Nuzlockers. Base Blastoise has genuine use for the entire game as a defensive Pokemon, and also just as a pure water type as opposed to a water steel type. So definitely worth using base Blastoise over Mega. But of course, if you're playing casually, you just want to use fun, strong things, and go ahead and use the Mega every battle if you want. But for more strategic, Team Lock, Nuzlocke type players, you have 2 really good options with Blastoise and Mega Blastoise. Both of them are their own Pokemon. They do their own things, so that's super fun. Otherwise, I don't really know what else to say. I think I covered pretty much everything. Great coverage moves, great abilities, very fitting moves and abilities for him. Rapid Fire and Mega Launcher and all these cannon type moves and stuff. They fit really well. Bulletproof Shell Armor, very fitting for base Blastoise. I initially had Steelworker on them, but it's kind of bad. It's cool and all, but it's just not you'd rather have Bulletproof or something. So yeah, War Total and Squirtle, very easy to use for the whole put in the game. You know, good for totems and stuff with Soak and Water Sport for Totem Marowak and Haze to, you know, erase the totem boosts with priority and all that other fun stuff. So, yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything. Thank you for listening. The music is looping twice, so that's my cue to end it. Lastly, yes, I did drop Blastoise's attack, and yes, they are slower, like I said earlier, but that doesn't make them bad. They appreciate having the extra bulk and power and stuff, especially in a hack like this, where you're not even guaranteed max speed IVs anyways, so all the speeds that would be good for would be like Choice Scarf, what's the word? Water Spout, which is like cool, I guess, but you have so many better options. You can also still use Quick Claw, Water Spout. Quick Claw is a single-use item that will always trigger. Like I said, there are dozens of item button changes, 600 plus move button changes. So if you are listening this far into the video and you don't know that yet, please do give that a look. And I appreciate anybody who did listen this far into the video. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, and I'll be back for more videos coming up. Peace.